Hello class, this is Dr. Valenzuela. Wanted to talk about completing your graphene project. And when you look at the graphene folder, it's here in your week 1 folder. You have the directions. You also have options 1, 2, and 3 that you're going to pick. You're just going to pick one of the options. And then you'll see that in week 6, you have the rough draft of the project is due. But I'm going to walk you through how to complete this project. So let's take a look at the directions first in week 1. And let's pull up the directions. Okay. So I've got the directions here. And you'll see that you're going to, you have the rough draft that's due in week 6. You're going to choose one of the options 1, 2, or 3. Okay, that's these options 1, 2, or 3 to do the project. And then you're going to complete the project in a Microsoft Word document and create 3 graphs and then answer the questions about each graph. Okay, that'll cover parts 1, 2, and 3. Then upload your document in the week 6 folder. Then in week 7, you're going to, within the Word document, you will compose a short reflection and summary. Okay, so that's the directions. Let's take a look at, so I'm going to, I'll do the practice, the business one, and show you how to do that. So one of the things that, let's look at the directions. If you go down here, and down here is the rubric. So you'll be graded on the table and the bar chart, the table and the pie chart, the table and the line graph, the analysis, and then your reflection at the very end, which is submitted in the Word document in week 7. Okay, so I'm going to look at the business one. Okay. Just going to scroll through it. Okay. So you need to have, when you look at the formatting, make sure you format it. And so I'm going to go to File. So I'm going to start a new, when you set up the project, go to Word, start a new blank document. Make sure you save it on your computer so that you have it. Okay. And okay, so if you notice here, oh, the background here, cover page, title, name, college. Okay. Generally, when you open a Word document, it already has the margins on the side here. It's usually an inch, so you don't have to worry about the margins. Title page, you can just, if this is the title page here, you just call it Graphene Report Project, and then I'm going to call this the Business Option 2 Project by, and then put your name here. instructor. Just put my name, Dr. Valenzuela. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to center it. And then if you come up here, you can actually make it a little bit bigger. I just put 22 point font here. Okay, and that's the title page. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the footer or course number. It's unnecessary. Double spaced. Okay, 12 point Times New Roman font. Okay, let me show you how to do that. So if you want, let's put it in Times New Roman. So just come up here, click on Times New Roman. See, it's Times New Roman here. And then we'll write it as Times New Roman font. Let's go to the second page. And it's 12 points, so change it back to 12 points here. And then make it, click on the left justified button here to move it to the left. Or to move the cursor to the left. Okay, and if you want page number on it, we're going to go to Insert, and then we're going to go over here to page number at the bottom of the page, and then I'm going to select this one that says page number, and that'll put the page number on it. Notice that when you're in here, just double click outside of the footer to get back to here to the left hand side. Okay, so we need to have the table and the graph of the bar chart. Okay, so let's go to the directions just to make sure we've got everything. This is again, this is option 2, the business one. So this is create a bar chart, the years 2000, 2000, 2014. It says create a table from the data above displaying the amount spent on food, housing, and transportation for 2000, 2007, 2014. Okay. So food, housing, transportation. Food, housing, transportation for, okay, 2000, 2007, 2014. Okay. Okay, so essentially, we're going to take and rewrite this data in Excel. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up an Excel file. Okay. A blank worksheet. Okay. And then we're let me make mine a little smaller so that you can see what I'm doing here. There it goes there. So we've got to rewrite this data to fit what, so we want food, we want kind of look like that. So I'm going to see if I can copy it. So I just selected, I used my cursor and selected this. Oops, I just want the box. Let's see if I can copy the box. I'm going to copy it. Okay. And you can do a right click on your mouse, copy. I'll see if it'll copy over here. Paste it. Okay, well, almost. So if you put the cursor up here, just make it a little wider. Oops, I guess it didn't do it. That's okay, we can just do it ourselves. And just write 2000, oops, 2007, 2014. And then here on the right, it's going to be food, housing, and transportation. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this column bigger here. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this here because it didn't copy over the way I wanted to. I'm going to do a right click, delete, and I'm going to delete those columns. I'm going to highlight this here, all the sections. See this little box here? It's a border box. I'm going to click all borders because I want borders around the whole box or the chart. Then I'm going to go back to my directions. And for 2000, the year 2000, for food, I had this amount, so I'm going to copy that. Paste it there. This is your paste command here. So for food, I also had for 2007, do a right click, copy, food, 2007, here's your paste. Oops. Oops, it's trying to hit escape to get out of that. Go back, copy, and then, oops, sorry, this is your paste command here. There it is. And then 2014, we had for food 6799. Do a right click, copy, paste, then housing. You had this amount, copy, click here on your paste command for 2007. You had this amount. Do the right click on your mouse, copy, paste it, go back, 2014, right click on your mouse, copy, paste, transportation. You have this amount, highlight it, right click on your mouse, copy, go over here, paste it. Then we had this amount, right click on your mouse, copy, paste, and then we had transportation, right click on your mouse, copy, and then paste it. Good. Okay, good. And let's go back and just put the borders back in. So highlight the whole area with your mouse. All borders. Good. There it goes. So there's our chart of data. And let's go back to our Word document with our title. So this is part 1, task number 1, So now what you're going to do is we need to include the chart. So highlight the chart. Oops. Copy it. Here's your copy command on Excel. Go back to your Word document and then hit the paste command. Okay. Notice your cursor's underneath here. Just hit the return key or the enter key. There you go. There's the first chart. Okay, so we created the table. And we're going to insert a bar graph. Okay, remember it's a bar graph. So you should have a title. Okay. Okay. So hit escape. So we're going to do our chart now. So to go to insert. Oops, sorry. First you want to highlight the table. Then go to insert. And you see this area here? This is your chart, your bar charts. Oops, that's your histogram. No, this one here, the column charts. Okay. So we can do the cluster. Let's do the clustered column chart here. And notice that we need to include the chart title. And just put in part 1, task number 1, chart. Okay. So here's our chart. And then notice that when I click on the chart, it has a border. When I click outside, the border goes away. So when you copy it, the chart, click on the border, hit your copy command on Excel, then go to your Word document, and then hit the paste command. It'll paste it in. There you go. There's the first chart. Now, remember, you still have to answer the question. So you have to answer question 1. So make sure that, so here you place your answer here for question 1. Okay. Let's go to the next task. Okay, let's go to part 2, task number 2. So let's go to the next page, create a new page. We're going to call this part 2, task number 2. Okay. And we're going to create another chart. Create a table from the data above on the amount of money spent on each expenditure in 2014. Okay. This is a pie chart on the amount of money. Okay. Type only the data needed for the graph in the cells. Okay. So in 2014. Okay. So we're only looking at the year 2014. So let's go back to our graph. Okay. Okay, so in Excel, I'm just going to label this as part 1. And then I'm going to now copy. I'm going to select this chart. I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to paste it here. But notice that now this is part 2. They said I only need 2014, the year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and select that, right click, paste it, and I only need 2014. So I'm going to select that, copy, and paste it. Okay, so this is the chart that I need here for part 2. I'm going to delete that. This is part 2. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is highlight this, hit copy, go back to your Word document, paste in your new chart, just 2014. Let's go back to the directions, and we need to include a pie chart. Okay. Okay, so first for the pie chart, highlight your data, your table, insert. We're going to go to insert chart. Oops, cancel this. There we go. Okay, sorry. You see my cursor's over to the right hand side of the chart. Hit the enter key or return key. Oops. So what's happening is I'm inside the chart and I need to get outside. Just double click here, and this happens a lot. So you get stuck inside the chart. So just start over, highlight it, delete it out. Okay, so you get stuck inside the chart, just delete it. So I'm going to go back and do my copy, and I'm going to do my click on home up here, paste. Now my cursor's outside of the chart and I can work outside of the chart. So if you get stuck inside the chart, you can't get it, or the table, just delete the whole table and start over. Okay, now I'm going to select my chart, my data table. Now I hit insert. Okay, I'm going to click chart. Now I want a pie chart, so I'm going to click this pie chart here. Hit OK. Okay, so not exactly what I wanted because it overlaid on top of my data table. So I'm going to go hit the back button. So this back button will redo it. So I'm going to try that again. So I want my cursor underneath here. Just make sure the cursor's not connected with the table. So I'm going to go insert, chart, pie chart, hit OK. Now it's working. Okay. There it goes. Now, the only thing that I looks like it's doing here is it's not picking up my data. So I'm going to select this chart and delete it. I'll try that again. Select my chart. Insert chart. I'm going to go pie chart. Okay, so I think there's a problem that's happening with this chart, that for some reason it doesn't like the data in it. Okay, so I'm going to delete the whole chart. For some reason it's connecting the chart with, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go back here. Oh, I think I know the problem. So when I was doing the chart, I was actually doing the chart inside of Word, and I should have been doing it in Excel, and that makes a big difference. Okay, so hit escape, go back. Let's copy the table, put it back in Word. That was correct. Now go back to Excel, hit escape, select your table. Now in Excel, hit insert, then you're going to hit the pie chart in Excel. Okay, that's what was happening, is I was doing it in Word, but it should have been in Excel. And do your pie chart. You can do a 3D pie chart. Okay, that's better. And this is part 2. Okay, there we go. Now, notice you're going to click on the chart. The borders come up. Click on Home. Hit your copy command. Go back to your Word document. Hit paste. There it is. There's my chart. Notice the cursor's here on the corner. Hit your Enter key or Return key. Go to number 3. So now, oops, sorry, we got one more thing to do. You've got to answer the question. Okay. So if you go back to your directions, you got to answer question 2. Answer question 2. So go to question 2 and answer it there at the bottom. Okay, start a new page. I'm going to notice it's at the center, so I need to go click on the left justified button. I'm going to change this font to 12 point. Okay, so this is part 3, task number 3. Okay, let's go to part 3. Part 3, task number 3. Okay, so the table below, compiled by the census survey, lists the median household income. We're going to use the data above, and so what we're going to do here, I think we can just copy this. So click Enable Editing. Okay, click Enable Editing. That allows you to edit from the document. Highlight all the data in the table. Click your copy command from Word. Go back to Excel. This is part 3. And then click your paste command in Excel. Okay, so here's our data table. Now, go to your highlight your data table. Hit your copy command from Excel. Go to your Word document for your project. And then hit the paste command. Then see my cursors down here at the bottom? Just hit enter. So now we need to create a graph. Let's go to the directions. So in this graph, remember that you're going to create go back down here. Part 3 is a line graph. Okay. So this is the last graph that we have to do. So we need to do a line graph. So hit escape to get out of the copy mode. So highlight the data and table, insert in Excel. This is in Excel. And this option here is your line graph. Okay, we're just going to do a line graph. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the different formats here. I think I like this one. Okay, so let's do this again so I can kind of show you what I'm doing. I'm going to delete that. So I'm going to highlight the year. I'm going to highlight the table. Insert a line graph. There's all different kinds of line graphs, but I'm going to do the 2D line graph. This one here. And then just do a left click and move. Hold the left click on the mouse and move it over here so you can see it. The chart title is going to be changed, so put in part 3, task number 3. Okay, now notice that it doesn't have the years here. Okay, so if you come up here, these are the different designs that you have. Notice that it's changing the design every time I do that. And I want the one that has the year on it. And this one here. There's this one too. But I like this one. So click up here and change your design so that it includes the year. Then if I click out of it, the borders go away. Click on your graph, go to Home in Excel, hit your copy command, go back to your Word document, and hit paste. Okay, and there's your graph. Now, remember you've got to answer your question. So let's put your question down here. Oops, let's do a left justified 12-point font. And then paste your question. Remember you're on question number 3. And your question number 3 is here. So you're going to answer this question, put it in your Word document. Okay, now start a new page. Now this is the last part. This is part 4. And remember, this is for the final project. For the final, it's the part 4, task 4, the project reflection. So this is part 4, project reflection. And you're going to um, write 200 to 300 words. So I'm just going to copy that into my Word document. So the directions say write a 200 to 300 word paragraph addressing these questions. List 3 things that you learned in this report. How could these knowledge, skills, and capabilities be used in the workplace? And explain a specific workplace example where reading and analyzing, creating a table or graph could be used in your field. So what I would recommend is that you write 100 words here. You write 100 words in this area for that, and write 100 words for this last one. And that'll give you 300 words, okay? And then you want a double spacing, okay? Okay, so how do you set up double spacing? So let's say this is just an example of how to set up double spacing. So I will demonstrate how to do that with these 2 sentences. Okay, notice that these 2 sentences are single space. To double space, highlight, and then you're going to click this little arrow here, and this 2 is double spacing. Okay, that's double spacing. If it's a little too wide, you might even go like 1.5 lines. Okay, 1.5 lines is sufficient for double spacing. Okay, line spacing options. But if you just highlighted them and you went 1.5, 1.5, or 2.0, 2.0 is a little wide, but 1.5 is sufficient. Okay. All right, so this is the completion of the project. That's what it looks like. And you would submit the entire project in week 7, and then the parts 1 through 3 in week 6. Okay, remember that I did this for the business option, but you could do the same thing for options 1 and 3 also, the same process. The numbers are going to be different, but the process is the same. Okay, so this will help you with the project. This is Dr. Valenzuela. Okay, if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.